The story revolved around an ornate Chinese music box that could grant 7 wishes, but each wish demanded a life in exchange. It opened with a dark memory. Young Clare watched her mother, Johanna Shannon, her life. That trauma haunted her for years. Years later, 17-year-old Clare was an outsider at school. She was often bullied by the wealthy Darcy. That day, she went to school in a terrible mood. Her father, Jonathan, had once again been digging through trash bins for scraps. Because of this, Clare was mocked and rejected by her classmates. In the cafeteria, Darcy picked on her in front of everyone. Clare, unable to endure it anymore, fought with her in public. When she came home, her father was not back yet. Thankfully, their kind neighbor, Mrs. DeLuca, gave her an ice pack. Meanwhile, Jonathan was rummaging through trash and found a strange music box. It had a lock and couldn't be opened. Still, he felt it was something useful. With Clare's birthday only days away, Jonathan wrapped it up as a gift. Clare had studied some Chinese, but she couldn't understand the ancient writing on the box. She only recognized the 4 characters that meant 7 wishes. Frustrated, Clare didn't care much. She casually wished for Darcy's whole body to rot. She left the room without noticing that her dog had suddenly become wary. The dog stared at the music box instead of playing around as usual. Late that night, the music box, which had refused to open before, suddenly clicked open by itself. It played a haunting tune, but Clare, sound asleep, didn't hear a thing. Once the tune finished, the box slowly closed again. The next day, Darcy discovered her skin was rotting. Clare quickly learned about it from her best friend, Meredith. Unlike Meredith's excitement, Clare was shocked by the coincidence. At home, Clare took photos of the writing on the box. She planned to ask her Chinese teacher for help, but soon, she noticed the house was unusually quiet. Her dog was gone. She ran outside, calling for him, only to find him gruesomely disemboweled. Heartbroken, she believed some wild animal had attacked. The next day, her teacher admitted he didn't recognize the ancient script either. Ryan, who overheard, eagerly offered help. His cousin Gina studied ancient writing, but Clare politely refused. She knew Ryan liked her, yet her heart secretly belonged to Paul, her classmate. Paul, however, was popular and already had a girlfriend. To him, Clare was invisible. Overcome by emotion, Clare held the music box again. She wished Paul would fall madly in love with her. The next day, to her surprise, Paul actually came over and greeted her, but Clare didn't know. Back at her house, the music box had opened once again. At the same time, her great-uncle August was stepping into his bath. He slipped, hit his head on the edge, and passed out. The water kept running, filling the tub. He woke up just before drowning, but when he tried to get up, he struck his head again and fell back. This time, there was no miracle. Not long after, Clare and her father saw the news of wealthy Uncle August's death on TV. Clare asked about his inheritance. Jonathan shrugged, saying, "If there's a will, trust me, we ain't in it." Clare agreed. But on her way to her room, she nearly tripped over the junk Jonathan had left around. She exploded, arguing bitterly with her father. She was sick of this life. Her eyes fell on the music box again. She realized her first 2 wishes had already come true. Even though Paul only greeted her, Clare still wanted to push further. She wished Uncle August would leave his entire fortune to her. She didn't expect much. But the next day, the wish came true. The will clearly stated all of Uncle August's wealth now belonged to Clare. In an instant, poverty was gone. Clare and her father became rich overnight. Thrilled, Clare embraced her new life. She went on lavish shopping sprees with her 2 best friends, Meredith and June. But she had forgotten one thing. Every wish came with a deadly price. At that moment, the neighbor, Mrs. DeLuca, was in the kitchen. She turned on the garbage disposal, hoping to grind away the waste inside. But after working for a while, she found the sink was still clogged. DeLuca quickly shut off the switch and decided to clean it by hand. She reached her hand into the sink full of sharp blades, unaware that her leaning body was dangerously close to the power button. Meanwhile, the soup on the stove boiled over. The spilling liquid extinguished the flame. Soon, DeLuca smelled a sharp odor of gas. Luckily, when she turned around, she didn't hit the switch. She turned off the gas valve, then leaned closer to check the sink again. She turned the disposal back on, but didn't notice her hair getting caught inside. The spinning blades pulled her head down tighter and tighter. The pain forced her to lower her head even more. In the end, Mrs. DeLuca's neck snapped, and she died. Unaware of her neighbor's fate, Clare was still examining the music box, but no matter how long she looked, she found nothing magical. Only the image of a demon inside the lid made her uneasy. That night, Clare had a nightmare, and just then she suddenly saw a figure outside. But when she went out to check, no one was there. She thought it was just her imagination. Clare only felt that her life had completely changed. That day, she saw Paul breaking up with his girlfriend. Before she could react, Paul walked up to her tenderly. He asked if she would be his girlfriend. Clare didn't answer right away. The wish felt too powerful, and it frightened her. After thinking it over, Clare finally decided to seek help from Ryan's cousin Gina. After looking at the box, Gina said it was a wishing box, The writing said that stroking it could grant up to 7 wishes, but once it was lost or discarded, all wishes would break and life would return to the way it was. The last line, however, Gina couldn't understand. She took a picture of it, planning to ask someone later. Hearing this, Claire felt relieved. Happy, she headed home, only to see her father digging through trash bins again. Angry and embarrassed, she confronted Jonathan loudly. He claimed he was just bored, but Claire felt humiliated. She wanted to cut ties with that life forever. So Claire made her 4th wish. She wished her father could have some class and stop picking trash. Meanwhile, Gina finally managed to translate the last line. Its meaning terrified her. Whenever the music ends, the wisher must pay in blood. The next second, the lights went out in Gina's house. Her phone lost signal. She rushed outside, trying to tell Ryan what she discovered, but the door slammed shut behind her, startling her. Her phone slipped and fell to the ground below. Helpless, Gina went back inside. In the darkness, she thought she saw a shadow. The next moment, she stumbled, and a statue pierced straight through her head. Claire, unaware of Gina's death, felt overjoyed. Her father had suddenly changed his ways. He picked up his saxophone, which he hadn't touched in years, and played beautifully. The next day, Ryan went to find Gina, only to discover her gruesome death. Shaken, he later confronted Claire. He had found Gina's research on her computer. Ryan demanded to know if Claire had made another wish the night before. Claire panicked, refused to answer, and ran away. She kept telling herself it was just a coincidence. Her new life was too intoxicating to give up, but she still felt something was missing. Rumors spread through school that she had stolen Paul away. Already an outcast, Claire became even more disliked. Yet instead of trying to change things by herself, Claire made her 5th wish. She wished to become the most popular girl in school. That night, Claire was invited to a party organized by her classmates. This time, she received a warm welcome from everyone. The feeling of being admired by all, something she had never experienced before, quickly consumed her. By then, she treated the music box as her most precious treasure. But that night, Claire had another nightmare. She saw the mysterious figure spying on her again. She rushed out to chase him, but he escaped once more. Claire felt certain he was after the music box. She hurried back and hid it carefully. Strange things didn't stop there. Lately, no one could reach Mrs. DeLuca. When Claire went to check, she immediately smelled a foul odor. She finally discovered that Mrs. DeLuca had been dead for days. These events filled Claire with fear. She confided in her 2 friends, Meredith and June, but they believed it was all just coincidence. They suggested if she really felt unsafe, she should simply throw the music box away. Claire pretended to agree, but in the end, her growing greed won. She was addicted to the life she now had. That night, while being intimate with Paul, she suddenly noticed a night outfit in his car. It looked exactly like the one worn by the mysterious stalker. Unable to hide anymore, Paul admitted the truth. He confessed that being away from Claire, even for a moment, made him feel sick. Claire suddenly remembered her wish. She had asked the box to make Paul fall madly in love with her, but this obsessive love frightened her. She immediately told Paul she wanted to break up. At that very moment, the music box opened again. It was time for Claire to pay the price for her 5th wish. The next second, a burning pillar suddenly collapsed toward June. Luckily, Meredith pulled her away in time, but the music box remained open, a sign that the danger wasn't over. Meanwhile, Jonathan's car suffered a blowout on the road. He managed to control the wheel and pulled over. While changing the tire, he carelessly left a wrench under the car. The tool jammed against a bolt. When he tried to pull it out, his knee accidentally hit the nearby tire. The tire rolled away, bounced into an oncoming car, and nearly struck him when it flew back. Jonathan was lucky, but Meredith was not. Inside an office building, the elevator she was riding suddenly malfunctioned. She had just called for help when the doors reopened. The next second, the elevator plunged from the 30th floor. Meredith was killed instantly, and only then did the music box slowly close again. Terrified, Claire was later approached by Ryan. He revealed something even more horrifying. After his investigation, he discovered that all the music box's past owners became successful, but their loved ones died one after another, soon after their rise. In the end, every single owner also died mysteriously. Ryan believed this was the price for using all 7 wishes. Hearing this, Claire finally panicked. She begged Ryan to help her destroy the box, but no matter if they burned it with fire or smashed it with a hammer, the music box remained unharmed. Unwilling to give up her current life, Claire decided to hide it again. But the next day she discovered the box was gone. Ryan tried to comfort her, saying maybe it was for the best. She wouldn't have to live in fear anymore. But just then, a group of police officers came to their house. They had discovered that Uncle August had committed tax fraud. All his assets would be confiscated to pay the debt and fines. Claire and Jonathan were thrown back into poverty. Jonathan was forced to go back to collecting trash again. Things grew worse. Darcy, now recovered, returned to school and started bullying Claire again. Paul went back to his ex-girlfriend, holding her in front of Claire. His eyes no longer carried the love they once held. Claire once again became the target of mockery at school. Everything seemed to return to the way it used to be. The only difference was that the price she had paid remained real. Having lost everything, Claire was left with nothing but pain. Just when Claire was about to break down, she suddenly saw the music box inside Meredith's locker. It turned out Meredith had stolen it. Meredith said since Claire couldn't get rid of it, she would keep it safe for her. But after falling from heaven to hell, Claire had already lost her sanity. She believed Meredith only wanted to steal her life. Otherwise, why hadn't she thrown the box away? Thinking this, Claire grabbed the music box back and tried to leave. Meredith rushed forward to stop her. In the struggle, Meredith accidentally tumbled down the stairs. Ryan happened to see the whole scene. Luckily, after checking, he found Meredith was not badly hurt. But Claire holding the box again terrified Ryan even more. Claire insisted she couldn't live without it and promised she would never make another wish. Seeing her crazed expression, Ryan kept trying to talk sense into her. Claire immediately threatened that if he interfered again, she would use the box against him. Having regained the box, Claire felt excited. She believed her life would soon become perfect again. She planned to put the box in the attic and never use it, but while cleaning up, she was horrified to find one of her mother's old paintings. In it, the music box appeared. Claire instantly realized her mother had once owned it too. Her death wasn't as simple as she thought. Terrified, Claire made another wish. She wished her mother could come back to life so she could ask the truth. But as soon as the music started playing, Claire knew something was wrong. At that moment, Jonathan and his friend Carl were cutting tree branches together. The chainsaw shook in Carl's hands. Claire screamed and ran out, trying to warn her father. But when Jonathan turned around, Carl lost his grip. The chainsaw fell and decapitated Jonathan. At that same moment, her mother Johanna magically walked out of the house, alive again. But Claire, broken with grief, could no longer care. Looking at the chaos her wishes had caused, she made her final decision. She wished to return to the morning before Jonathan found the box. The next second, Claire woke up from the nightmare. Her dog was lying lazily on the bed. Jonathan was getting ready to leave for work. She rushed out and begged to go with him. Across the street, Mrs. DeLuca waved warmly. Claire knew she had made the right choice. Her last wish not only brought everyone back to life, but also reset the music box with 7 fresh wishes. Soon she found the music box in the trash can again, but having lived through the horror, she no longer dared to use it. She handed it to Ryan, asking him to get rid of it. She was afraid she might not resist the temptation. Confused, Ryan didn't understand what the box was, but since it was Claire's request, he gladly agreed. Through all this, Claire finally learned to cherish her life. She decided to change her future with her own effort. But the next moment, a speeding car hit her and threw her into the air. She died instantly. After the 7th wish, the music box claimed Claire's soul. Her fate was the same as her mother's. Days later, Ryan carried the box, planning to bury it, but his eyes were drawn to the inscription about the 7 wishes. Curiosity and desire flickered in his gaze, hinting that the curse might continue.